Hey guys, as requested in the previous video, we're gonna have a tier list for the spirit. As usual, remember to like the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and also thank you for all the nice comment and the support that I received in the last few videos. I'm really happy we surpassed 100 subscribers. I didn't think it was possible for Endless Grade because I didn't know there were so many people following the game on YouTube. But yeah, I'm very happy about it, so thank you very much. And yeah, let's get into it. So the image that you see here is the actual image from my codex. So I maxed out all the yellow and the purple spirit, and the red one, I have all of them at 1 star. So it's going to be based on my knowledge from here, from this situation that I have. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about some of them, even if I don't have 3 star on Colossus, I'm going to talk about that. But yeah, let's start with Wind Spirit. Wind Serpent. Nice, I didn't even remember the name. And this one is going to be C tier. The thing is, out of all the purple is the least useful in my opinion, and I probably use it like once or twice. The effect when you max him is not even that bad, but just simple doesn't compare to the others. They have more utility in different modes, and there's nothing that this one is gonna add to your team most of the time. So yeah, this one is gonna be the first C tier. Then we have Drake. I would say Drake actually. I'm a little bit undecided. I would say out of all the purple, it could be considered A tier for me. And the reason is that it gives the best buff out of all of them, which is crit rate. And it's very, very useful when you do Flora team composition, because of course, as you can imagine, Flora needs as much crit as possible to nuke the enemies, to kill both the boss and the mob as fast as possible. So I think out of all of them, it gives you very good value for being a purple spirit. And yeah, I'm gonna see if going on with the video, I'm gonna maybe lower it to B tier, but I think it's a tier. It's a fair ranking for this one. Flame Soul is gonna be B tier. It's actually very useful in my opinion for Xeno and the Guild Boss. Outside of that, I don't really use him, but the debuff that he does on the enemy is quite nice. It's quite good, especially for those very huge boss with crazy amount of HP. It's quite useful, and it's one of the spirits that helped me to reach 1 million. No, to basically kill the Xeno. I forgot how much is the damage that you need to kill it, but I finally managed to kill a Xeno, and I'm gonna put a video about it soon in my shorts. But it's thanks to this spirit and another one that I'm gonna mention later. So definitely it's a V tier for me. Then we have this one. I would say between the two is a little bit better than the Wind Serpent, but still C tier because even if I saw some people trying to use it in PvP, but it's not gonna change that much. If you need stun, everybody use Colossus for that, so is not a big useful spirit in my opinion. Then we move to the yellow tier. Oh, yellow rarity. Yeah, yellow rarity, and it's gonna be Kun. I would say it's S tier for me. It's S tier because it's much easier to max compared to Red Spirit. And from I think it was from 2 star onwards, it provides freeze. And at max, it's a very decent percentage of freeze at max rank, so it's 5 star. It's a very good percentage of freeze, and as you can imagine, CC are super useful in this game, both for PvE and PvP. And so it's very few modes where you don't use it. You don't use Kun only in the mode where you cannot freeze the enemy, like Guild Boss or Xeno. Anything else, PvP or PvE, it's super useful. It's basically in every team that I use. I don't actually use him in what's the name, in Tower. I started to use another spirit instead of him, but it still remains S tier for me, like very easy S tier. For the same reason, I also gonna put in S tier Dark Apostle, and again from 2 stars. So the first, so at 0 star, 1 star, it's a little bit less useful, but from the second star, it starts to provide attack a buff for the attack damage. And that bonus is very useful. So most people use Dark Apostle as the first spirit in their lineup, so that you start the game and you already have a huge, it's a considerable, it's 10% if I remember correctly, attack buff on your team, which can make the difference in a lot of situation. And so yeah, I think it's very easy and S tier for me. Then we have Firestorm. I would say Firestorm is A tier. It's actually the spirit that I started to use a little bit more in Tower. Is quite helpful there, and is also one of the spirits that helped me to kill the Xeno. So I think overall is a quite useful spirit. It was one of the first one that I was using when I started to play the game and didn't disappoint. It goes well when you reach max rank. Is quite useful. It's not as useful as the guys in S tier, but it still provides very good value. And again, it's quite easy to max the yellow spirit compared to the red one. So it definitely do not disappoint. Then we have Rock Giant. I would say it's A tier for me. Personally, I like it more than Firestorm because I use it more overall. because at the end of the day, the damage is quite good for a yellow one, for a yellow spirit, and of course it provides true damage, so that's always nice. It was the first spirit that I raised in the game because I didn't know. I'm not the type of guy that open the skill and start to read and everything. I see damage, I like it. I just went with that with this one. Then I discovered that Conan Dark Apostle were more important, but I use it for a huge amount of my playtime in this game, and it's quite useful. I never got disappointed by this one. Of course, it's not as useful as the guys in S tier, but overall, it's a very solid choice in my opinion. Then we start with the red one, and easy. This one is I think nobody's surprised. Colossus is S tier. So if you follow like the advice and discussion from a veteran player on Discord, or you just see like the lineup of high level people in a Divine Tournament and stuff like that, you can see that they always have Colossus. The reason is that this guy at 3 star, so not 2 but 3 star, which is quite a pain in the ass to reach honestly for a red spirit because it's very expensive, you provide a very good and useful stun. It's a very good percentage. Now again, the problem, as I already mentioned, is that it takes a long ass time to make it 3 star, like especially if you're free to play. And the problem is that I think it's 100 shard to do the first one to unlock him, then it's 50 to reach 1 star, then it's another 100 to reach 2 star, and I would guess, I could be wrong, I don't know, but I guess it's 150 shard to go at 3 star. That takes so freaking long. But it's worth it. It's a very useful spirit. Even if it's not 3 star, you can still use him for the stun, because as the other CC, stun is super important in this game and super strong. And so yeah, it's S tier. It's gonna be even better when you reach 3 star, which I didn't yet. But yes, it's gonna be probably once it's 3 star is the most important spirit that you have. Then we have Abyssal Storm. I would say Abyssal Storm is A tier for me. Actually, maybe I did this order because of what I like, but if I had to be more objective, probably Firestorm is more useful than these guys. Drake, I would say it's pretty much the same as Rock Giant. Abyssal Storm, depending on you, could be more useful. I actually started to use it more in Divine Tournament, depending on the team that I make, and it's also one of the spirits that I use to kill the Xeno. It's a very interesting spirit. When I saw it, I thought it was gonna be stronger. Now I'm a little bit disappointed, but especially because the dispel mark that you use, first of all, it works in a weird way, because instead of dispelling a buff from the enemy, it gives the mark to one of your character. Then when your character attack, it can dispel one of the buff from the enemy. But it doesn't work on every buff. Like for example, Shallow Grave, which is the buff that you want to remove the most during PvP, you cannot remove it with Abyssal Storm. So I was very disappointed. I still think it's a very useful one. It provides very good damage, especially when you start to have a decent amount of star, but it's not into S tier territory, because again, if it could cancel the buff of solo, it would be S tier for me, because in PvP would be super important, but it doesn't, so it stays in A tier. Then we have King Mami. I think this one I'm a little bit sad, but for me it's a B tier. Like the damage is not bad, it's actually quite decent, but the barrier, like, I don't know, it's once you reach mid game or late game, that barrier is pretty much useless in my opinion. I never found myself in a situation. Sometime in tower I tried, but when you reach a high enough level in tower, you never think, oh yeah, the barrier from King Mami is gonna save me, it's gonna improve my situations. Like, you get one shotted anyway in 99% of the time, so it's that barrier is not gonna make a difference. So unfortunately, it's gonna stay in B tier for me. And then we have the last one, which is Light Servant. Light Servant. I mean, you can argue about this one, but I would say it's a low S tier. It's quite useful. I would say it's a little bit less useful than the other 3 in S tier, but it's definitely more useful than the guys in A tier. And it's very easy to use as a spirit. Like in any situation, you could use Muriel. So it's Divine Tournament in Tower. I don't really use it in stage push because again you get one shotted by everything. But in any other mode it could be useful. I don't use it for like mode where I need to deal as much damage as possible, like scene or guild boss. But if you're in a situation where you cannot survive all 15 turns, of course Light Servant could be an interesting choice because it can make you survive a little bit more, a little bit longer to make a little bit more damage. So I think it's because it's very easy to use in many different situations. I would say S tier. It's not as useful as the other, but it's still quite useful in my opinion. Also, I want to finish the video by specifying something that maybe some of you that didn't start to level up the Red Spirit Codex maybe didn't know. So I'm gonna put some image when I edit the video, but basically, for example, King Mami and Light Servant are in the same codex for the bonus, for the synthesis, synergy synthesis, I forgot what's the name, you're gonna see in the image. But basically, it's when you unlock both of them, you get a 5% bonus of attack. When both of them reach 1 star, so you can upgrade the synergies, whatever it's called, it goes up not by 1% like it does for the Yellow Spirit, but it goes up by 5%. So from 5 it goes to 10%. So in my opinion, like the reason why I made everybody 1 star instead of focusing all my shard on Colossus is because you go from 5% to 10% attack. So you get a bonus 5%, plus you get also the other bonus. And also for the other one, for Colossus and Abyssal Storm, you go from 5% HP to 10% HP. So you get another bonus of 5% HP. That's quite useful. Imagine that's 5 skin. So, you know, skin in this game now, they give you 1% bonus, like overall, a global bonus for all the characters. So imagine just making these two guys 1 star is gonna give you the same bonus that you get from 5 skin, which obviously are quite expensive. It's like what, 30 euro for the arena pass, and I forgot the coin, but I think also the coin is about 30, it's like 27 or 30, 32, I don't remember. But so yeah, it's a bonus that usually with the skin it costs a lot of money. So in my opinion, it's worth to go for 1 star for all the red servant when you can, so that you can unlock all the bonus. Of course, it's up to you. A lot of people, they just go straight to do 3-star Colossus. That's not a bad idea because it's the most useful one. It's the super good. But yeah, up to you. I already made a video, I think, in the past. I'm gonna put like the link. I don't know how to say the link of that video about the spirit up, because I was talking about the strategy that I used to level up mine and unlock all the slot as fast as possible. Again, as I think I mentioned in that video, it's not the best strategy ever, but it's what I did, and I don't regret it. It was useful, it was nice. So you can also check out that video. As usual, for any question, you can leave a comment and I will do my best to reply. Thank you for watching until the end. Have a nice day. See you in the next one. Bye bye, guys.